Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the 12th house, posited in the 8th house in a natal horoscope. Well, as most of you know, the 12th house is connected with secrets, limitations, restrictions, self-undoing, private matters, seclusion, solitude, the metaphysical, even hospitals, prison. And the 8th house is connected with sex, death, taxes, others' resources, inheritances, transformation, regeneration. So anyway, I think one obvious conclusion one can come to is that restrictions might impact, restrictions and limitations may impact perhaps the sexual life, the sexual partner, perhaps even death to some degree if this person is suffering from a debilitating illness, for example. It could also perhaps maybe impact maybe taxes on some level, and this might not always be bad. Say if this person is not able to work substantially, they're obviously not going to pay as many taxes. I don't think this is necessarily a complete, negative description or anything. We look at this house, and the 12th house is the house of secrets, and perhaps this person is very secretive regarding 8th house matters, such as ways he or she transforms. There might be some restrictions connected or apprehensions connected with transformation or regeneration or reinventing the self. The person might be secretive regarding matters connected with sex, their feelings and thoughts on death, perhaps things that are connected with inheritances, taxes. This person may not openly like to talk about these things. This could be a placement where perhaps a hospital and or prison, or one or the other or both, might have some impact on matters that are pertaining to death, matters I guess you could say with changing one's life through transformation, through some kind of regeneration. Dreams this person has, perhaps literal dreams, I could say that again. Dreams also that are the ideals of the person, may somehow play a role in some 8th house matters, might compel this person to go to change the course of his or her life to some degree. This person may have fantasize frequently about perhaps certain sexual partners, maybe more so than the average person, because the 12th house corresponds with Pisces and it's connected with imagination and fantasy. Perhaps there might be some confusion, chaos, or ambiguity that's associated with at least some 8th house matters, including taxes, death, inheritances, others' resources. There may be maybe even in ways he or she transforms or tries to change his or herself. Perhaps maybe even there's we look at the 12th house as connected with also perhaps somewhat intuitive, because it does correspond with Pisces. Perhaps this person uses some insight and maybe some intuition, even to some degree, to become somewhat to be investigative, or uses this in their investigative prowess or ability. This position might actually be good for somebody that I guess we could say does extensive research, investigation, maybe somebody that is interested in forensic police work, detective work, because they could use their profound insight, which is connected with the 12th, to help matters pertaining to investigation, which would be the 8th house. This person might get some loss or sorrow. Might be connected with things with the 8th house, might be connected with the sexual partner. There might be some restrictions connected with this. Maybe this person doesn't really find, at least for a while, or might feel some a diminished relationship with with one or more sexual partners in the course of his or her life. There could be sorrow and despondency connected with this, perhaps with some taxes, with inheritances, with others' resources, to some degree, with ways that this person would want to change his or her life, to transform his or herself on some level. Perhaps this person brings an intuitive quality into their an insight into perhaps their sexual relationships. Maybe the intuition plays a role in how he or she could change his or her life, or may play a role on their outlook on things that are pertaining to death. Their insight might figure prominently in this. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the ruler of the 12th house posited in the 8th house in the natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the 12th house and the 9th house in the natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.